What's up, everybody? Welcome to Class Act Episode 3, and today we're going to be looking at the PM63. Now, the PM63 is one of my favorite weapons to use, but it is often referred to as one of the lower tier SMGs, and that's probably for a pretty good reason. First of all, it has the least attachments of any primary weapon other than the shotgun and the G11, so you can't put any optical sights on it. So because of that, you have to adjust your playstyle a little bit. And this first class I'm going to show you is a prime example of kind of just maximizing what you can do with the PM63. Now this is a pretty aggressive style class. You see here that I do have Scavenger. The PM63 has a very high rate of fire. It burns through ammo very quickly. I know a lot of people like to use rapid fire on it, but I personally don't enjoy using rapid fire, mainly because if you are off target for just a second, you're going to be out of ammo before you can adjust. So I complement that with extended mags and sleight of hand. Scavenger will keep your ammo fulfilled, and then your green perk can be ninja or whatever you prefer. Now, when you're playing this class, you do want to play it a little bit differently than some SMGs. You're going to want to try to flank. You don't really want to take people head on. You'll notice at the end of this, when I do die, it's because I'm taking a guy head on from long range, and that's really what you want to avoid with this gun because it's not very strong at all. If you're getting to the range of where you're going to worry about a 5-hit kill, then you're really using this weapon wrong. I am guilty of that quite often. But my biggest weakness when using the PM63 seems to be my reliance on hip fire. Now, when I initially set out to do this video for the PM63, I was looking at, what classes seemed to work, and one class that didn't work was this, basically the same setup we're using here, but instead of sleight of hand, we're using steady aim. Now, what steady aim theoretically does is increase hip fire, but I quickly learned that even with extended mags, the steady aim didn't really complement the PM63 very well. I figured that using steady aim with extended mags would make a great hip fire weapon because the PM63 does have a lot of recoil to it. When it's not really recoil, it's more like a bloom. And the bloom is basically caused because of the iron sights. It's more of an optical illusion, but you have a hard time staying on target. Now that's not to say some people aren't more skilled with the iron sights than I am. I just typically don't have good success with them because you can't put any optical attachments on it. So I opt for sleight of hand instead of steady aim. I've had much more luck with that. It just seems like it's the more advantageous perk to use because you can get those iron sights up much quicker, and I tend to try to stay away from firing from the hip because what I've learned is that the PM63 is not a very good hip fire weapon. Right here you see I'm just throwing in some clips of me working my way up to a blackbird. I actually think I do actually get a chopper with this one, but the green perk is really up to you. It's more of a preference in your playstyle. If you want to use Marathon, by all means use Marathon. I chose Ninja because I've noticed as of late, with all the sound patches, I have noticed that I'm getting hurt a lot more than I would like, and that's kind of bothered me. So I started using Ninja again. I hadn't used it for the first like 9 prestiges, and now somehow on my 10th prestige, I'm back relying on the old Ninja, which is a modern, a Call of Duty standby. So I've worked my way back up to Ninja just because I like to stay incognito. Now, as far as secondary attachment or secondary weapons, honestly any pistol of choice will work. I usually choose the CZ75 with extended mags, but it doesn't really matter. So let's take a look at my favorite setup here with the PM63s. Now this is the Akimbo setup. I personally feel like this is the best Akimbo SMGs in the game. The Mac 11s aren't really that good. And the Scorpions are fun, but you have to get really close. I think this is the true Akimbo setup in the game because you can get a lot of long distance kills, and it has a nice rate of fire, and I don't know, it seems to work for me. That's not to say I don't like the Scorpions. The Scorpions are a lot of fun, and this can actually be a pretty decent class if you know how to play it. Now, you don't look at an Akimbo setup as being like a game battle setup, but it definitely has its uses and fun in the game. Now, this first clip here will kind of show you a lower tiered kill streak, I guess you would say setup. I like to run spy plane, counter, and napalm when using the Akimbos. That's because I know I've preached this a lot in some of my videos, but lower tier kill streaks often get you more kill streaks in general because I don't expect to live long when I'm using these high flying weapons like a shotgun or an Akimbo setup, mainly because you just don't have the longevity that you would have to get to a higher kill streak. Now that could be said, why are you using Scavenger? Well, even with even with using the lower kill streaks and expecting to die a lot lower, I still tend to run out of ammo a lot because it just burns through ammo quite quickly. So I still use Scavenger. Lightweight is a good alternative to that if you're running like 345. I would suggest using lightweight if you think you can get away with it. I'm using Scavenger just because I like to have that extra ammo just in case I need it, but honestly, lightweight could be just as beneficial. Secondary is a secondary of your choice. Usually I use an Akimbo ASP because it kind of complements the the steady aim aspect of the Akimbo weapons. So I think that works well for me. But here's a good example of one of the strategies that I use when using Akimbo. Like my shotgun setups, I do like to tack in. Tack inserts are going to be your friend. They will get you a lot of kills. If you notice right there, I get a kill as soon as I come in from my tack, and it's just so beneficial. It's just one of the best things to do. And right there, you notice that I held off on using all my other magazines and reloaded while I used my right one. That's a strategy I've picked up from using these weapons, and it's very, very effective. So I don't know. That's one of the other strategies I've learned from this. And you do want to. This is a really high flying style of play. You can't just walk into Akimbo and expect to play it like you normally would. It's definitely going to take some practice and some time working with them to figure out what's best. And you see right here, I'm using cover to my advantage. A lot of times I'll hit the dirt when I need a reload. And that's because, you know, it's just a lot harder to see people when they're on the ground. So, I mean, that's just one of the strategies I use when using this. I nicknamed this class the snake class because I'm always on my belly reloading. Now right here, watch this tack insert. I tack in, there's a guy right there who had just killed me. I'm able to get the revenge kill. That's one of the nice things about using the Akimbo setups. And don't be afraid to switch to your secondary when using it. It's definitely a beneficial strategy. I use my pistols a lot when using the Akimbo setup because it's a lot easier to just switch to your pistol and take somebody out rather than you know, try to sit there and reload. And you notice right there that I did not try to engage that guy. I knew that I was beat, so I just backed off and capped the point instead of trying to fight that guy from long range. You don't want to fight those long range battles. The Akimbo weapons aren't gonna do it because they're mostly luck based, as far as like when you're gonna get a hit. So you want to try to avoid battles you can't win at all costs. I know that's kind of stupid advice, but it's very sound advice because you need to be pretty close to make these effective. And if you're trying to get somebody from as far away as that, it's not going to really be that effective. But I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I know this was a little shorter than past episodes, but I think that it was very comprehensive as far as how to use this weapon because there aren't really a whole lot of options with it. Definitely want to go with Scavenger. Lightweight is an option with the Akimbo, and the green perks aren't really that important. But try tack insert if you're having problems with getting close to the action, and you'll probably find a lot of success, especially if you're defending points and key choke points like this right side of Summit. So I'll see you guys next time. Peace.